Yes. So basically, two types of the metal forming processes, that is based on the nature of the force applied on the workpiece. It may be compressive force. Okay, if you add the direct compressive force on the workpiece, that type is forging and rolling. Also, indirect compression type of the forging process. Also, you have the tensile, shear. Okay, and another type is the based on the working temperature. This is most important. Okay, the based on the working temperature, we have the hot working condition and cold working condition. Clear? See, what is my hot working process? See, the working temperature of the metal is above recrystallization temperature, means above the melting point temperature, that we call as the hot working condition. Okay, the recrystallization means there is a process where deformed grains are replaced by the new set of undeformed set of the grains. The formation of the granular structures takes place when the metal is heated, that we call as the recrystallization. If you work above the working temperature, above the recrystallization means that we call as the hot working condition. If the working temperature is below the recrystallization temperature, then we call as it is cold working condition. Okay. Also, we see the forging process. The forging is a type of manufacturing process where metal is heated to its plastic state, means above recrystallization temperature, and then deformed to the desired shape and size by the application of some forces, it is compressive forces, with the help of a hammer or press or rolls. Okay. Also, we discuss the classification of forging process. The first one is open die forging, and second one is the closed die forging. Okay, the open die forging is also called as the Smith forging or flat die forging, and it is carried out between a flat dies that do not enclose the workpiece. Okay, and the dies are usually flat in shape, but some have simple shapes like round or concave or convex surface for specialized operations. What happens? Heated workpiece metal is placed on the bottom of die, which may be anvil or press bed. Okay, and while the top die attached to the reciprocating ram. Okay, the top die is attached to the reciprocating ram that strikes repeatedly to deform the workpiece. Okay, this we call as open die forging. Next we say different forging machines and equipments. In that we have two types, hammers and presses. So with the help of power hammers, we have the again different machines. With the application of presses or power presses, we have the again different machines. Okay, we see one by one in that. See, last class we discussed the types of hammer machines. In there, the first one, a board drop hammer. If you see the working principle of board drop hammer, the bottom you have the anvil. Anvil is attached to the lower die. Okay, on the lower die, you have to place the heated metal. The heated metal we call as the billet here. Okay. Now above, see the mechanism of the above, this reciprocating bar that is connected to the ram, and ram holds the upper die. Okay, and this all mechanism will moving with the help of friction rules. Okay, repeatedly it is hitting the heated workpiece to get the required size and shape. Okay, this is a board of hammer. Also we discussed a steam hammer. Anand, my voice is clear.
Yes, sir.
Now what happens in steam hammer? See here we have the two ports. One is the upper port, another one is the lower port. And inside a cylinder we have the piston is moving from top dead center to the bottom dead center with the help of steam. Once the steam is enters into the cylinder, the piston moves downward direction to the up to the bottom dead center. Okay, and the pressure of the that piston will be come to the piston rod to the ram. Then ram is connected to the upper die. Through upper die, force is applied to the heated workpiece. Again same, below we have the end wheel, a supporting device. Over that we have the lower die. Okay. Now today's class we start the power presses. The presses are different from hammers in that instead of delivering energy to work through impact or collision, the energy is delivered through a single continuous squeezing action. Okay, this continuous squeezing action result in form the deformation throughout the workpiece. Okay, the forging presses are two types. The first one is the mechanical press and second one is the hydraulic press. Then again mechanical press we have the different types. In the first one we have the crank press. Okay, the second one is screw press, third one is the rack and pinion press, and last one knuckle press. We say first one, screw press. Okay, the mechanical presses, the source of energy in mechanical press comes from the a large flywheel. Okay, and is powered by the electric motor. And the mechanical presses transfer the rotational force of this motor into translational forces. Okay, in this way, the ram and hence upper die connected to the ram obtain its linear motion and power to compress the hot workpiece into die blocks. Okay, the most common type of the mechanical press is the screw press. If you see the arrangement of the screw press, first you see the components of this press. You have the crank press. Okay, that is connected to the driven shaft. Okay, and this is use the power to the flywheel. This is also called as a frictional disc. Okay, through a frictional disc, the power is transferred to the flywheel, and flywheel is connected to the screw here. Okay, through a screw, it is connected to the ram, and ram holds the upper die here. Okay, and same below arrangement is we have the a strong end wheel. Okay, that is rigidly holds the upper die. These are the two dies. One is the upper die, another one is the lower die. Okay, end wheel holds the lower die. Over that, have to fix the hotted workpiece. Okay, these are the enclosed dies here. So it is called as the closed type of the forging. Okay, the forging screw presses uses the rotational energy of motor to turn the large screw. Okay, which in turn cause the ram and hence the upper die connected to it to move up and down here. If you see the sketch. Okay, the screw press consists of the screw and its head connected to the large flywheel. Okay, I'll just take a simple sketch of this screw press. I will give 2 minutes. ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಇದೆ ಜನ ಹೋದ್ರು ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಸರ್ ಲೀವ್ ಆದ್ರು ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಸರ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರ ಈಗ ಬಿಟ್ರು ಮತ್ತೆ you take the 2 minutes and complete the sketch fast. Saturday class repeat ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾ ಹೋದೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಗಂಜಿ ಬೇಜಾರಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದ್ರ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಬೇರೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರ ತಂದೆ ರವಿನ ಅದ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಚಲನ್ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡನ್ರಿ ₹4,090 ಐತ್ರಿ ಆ ಚಲನ್ ಸುರೇಶ್ ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ ಮಾಡನ್ರಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೋಗಿ ನೀವು ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆಂಟೇನ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಇವತ್ತು ಕಟ್ರಿ ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ರೀ ಅದೇನ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ರೀ 6 ತಾರೀಕು 5 ಗಂಟೆ ಒಳಗೆ ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ವಿ ಹೌದೇ ಸರ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಕಟ್ರೆ ಚಲೋ ರೀ ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಸೋಮವಾರ 6 ತಾರೀಕು ಸೋಮವಾರ ಕಟ್ತಾರೆ ಹೈಡ್ರಾಲಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ So hydraulic presses derive the energy from forging through the hydraulic pressure. Means the fluid pressure can be increased or decreased by means of, here we use the pumps or valves. If you increase the pressure, is then transmitted to the ram through piston cylinder arrangement. If you see this diagram here, we have the cylinder, inside we have the piston, and here we use the hydraulic fluid. Okay, the fluid pressure can transport inside the cylinder to move the piston up and down. Okay, the simple mechanism of this mechanical press. So in also we have a mechanical press, we have the crank press also. Okay, crank, that is we use the connecting rod, a crank pin and flywheel. Through a flywheel that is connected to the shaft rotates the flywheel. Through a flywheel connecting rod, the power transferred to the piston, then piston moves up and down. Okay, that is connected to the ram. Again, ram is holds the upper die, then force is applied to the heated workpiece. Okay, the mechanism is same for all. Some we use the steam. Okay, some press we use hydraulic fluid. Okay, some we use the crank press, crank mechanisms. Clear? Okay, these are the most important classification in the forging process. See, in exam point of view, they will ask types of the power hammers. It may be they ask a board of hammer or steam hammer. Okay, Next we move to the last concept in a forging process, that is defects in forging. Okay, once the object is formed, have to check it is have any error in that or not with the help of quality department. Okay, so once it finding some errors or some defects, again it should be resent to the recycling. Okay, since that we have the different types of the defects in the forging process. That first one we have the cold shed. The cold shed, the discontinuity. See, also you take questions, that is differentiate between hydraulic press and mechanical press. Just write down the question. Differentiate between mechanical press and hydraulic press. Okay, so next we have the different defects in the forgings. That first one we have the cold shed. So this defect is nothing but a discontinuously produced when two surfaces of the metal fold against each other without welding properly. Okay, and this happens mainly due to improper die design and working temperatures. If the design of the die is not proper and there will not maintain the working temperature properly, there will be some defect occurs continuously in the workpiece, that we called as the cold shed. Similarly, we have the die shift is a defect resulting from wrong alignment of the dies. Okay, if you not arrange the dies properly, upper die and lower die, okay, that defect we called as the die shift. Okay, die shift is a defect resulting from wrong alignment of the die hole. The forged part takes the improper shape, resulting in the defect. Okay, if the dies arrangement is not proper, means there will be not possible to apply the force continuously on the surface of the workpiece, and that force will be applied over the surface of the workpiece. Okay, the third one, you have the surface cracks. The surface cracks is a defect on the work surface of the forged part, resulting from excessive working at too low temperature. Initially I told the working temperature plays a most important role here. So how much degree have to heat the temperature of that metal before doing the operation on it. Okay, if it heated absolutely temperature, then we will take to the forming process. Then we will get the good surface finish. Otherwise, a surface cracks are formed. Okay, the surface crack is a defect on the work surface of the forged part. Okay, also we have the unfilled sections. The unfilled section is a defect that occurs when metal does not completely fill the die cavity. This especially happened in the closed die forging process because of the not force applied properly on the heated workpiece. It's not unfilled. It's not completely filled the that sections. So it is called as the unfilled section defects. Okay, this causes due to improper die design or wrong use of forging techniques. Here the die design plays the most important role here. So before starting the forming process, a requirement is the shape and size of the object should be first designed on the die. Okay, then you have to apply the force on the workpiece. Also, you have the overheating defects. The overheating defects are caused by improper heating conditions. Okay, this leads to surface oxidation and scale formation on the work surface. Okay, which needs to removed by the certain finishing operations. Okay, if you're working in hot working condition, the working temperature should be above the recrystallization, means above the melting point of that material. So like that, have to maintain the temperature throughout the operations. Okay, also we have some flags on the internal ruptures. Okay, flags are internal ruptures caused by the improper cooling of large forgings. And rapid cooling of the part causes the exterior surface to cool too fast, resulting in internal fractures. Especially this defect occurs in the cold forgings. The temperature below the recrystallization means in room temperature to operation carried out. Okay, these are the some defects in the forging process. Okay, so as per your syllabus, just they mentioned the concept of forging process, the technique of forging process, and different types of the forging process. Okay, and different equipments and machines of the forging process, and we have the defects in the forging. Okay, just basic things they mentioned in the syllabus. Just I completed this technique. Is any doubt in this forging process? Yes. Is any doubt? Okay, that is a type of the manufacturing process. As we discussed, the manufacturing process is nothing but to convert the raw material. The material selection of material is most important here, and depending on the size and shape of the workpiece required, and depending on the operation, how to choose the material of the workpiece. Okay, then with the help of some manufacturing processes, that is converted into the final products. Okay, in that we have the metal forming process. By using this, we making the end products. Okay, with the help of force applied on the workpiece. If apply the forces on the workpiece, again we have the different types of the forces. Okay, with the help of compressive force or tensile force or bending force through some equipment. It may be hammers, press, or rolls. The force is applied manually by using some specific tools. Okay, that we called as the hand forging. Okay, and if the compressive forces is applied by using some machines, that we called as the power forging. Okay, the most forging operations are carried out by hot conditions, also some carried out by the cold conditions, so depending on the type of the material. Also mentioned here one more most important term, that is recrystallization temperature. Okay, in material science subject, you studied about the crystalline structures, microstructures of the material, different lattices of the materials. Okay, we have the different type of lattices. It may be BCC, HCF, or simple cubic. Inside we have the atomic formations. Okay, once I heat the material, there will be changes in the atomic formation that we called as the granular structures or crystal structures. If changes in the this granular structures, that we called as the recrystallization. Okay, once a working temperature is above its recrystallization, that we called as the hot working condition, and if it is below, that we called as the cold working conditions. Also, we discussed about the differentiate between hot working condition and cold working condition. Okay. Also, we seen different types of the forging process, that is open die forging and closed die forging. Clear? Just go through this all concept, whatever we discussed so far. Next class, I will start the extrusion technique. Okay. I will stop here. Wait for 2 minutes. I will take the attendance.
आजी बोल एक ती खाई कर लागते
Okay, I will stop here. See you in the next class. 9 ಜನ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾಕೆಲ್ಲ